Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hallal and Hickey Show, live Wednesdays 2 to 4 only on WMLN 91.5. Jack Hallal, Declan, Hickey, guys, it's been quite some time since we have been together. How are you guys doing today?
Like I always say, I'm repetitive. It's always great to be a Wednesday here in Milton. Me alongside Declan, Hickey, and we're back.
It's been some time. We were on a little bit of rest. Declan, how you doing?
I'm good. You know, chilling.
Vibes are okay over here.
No. Vibes are very high.
Okay, vibes are high.
My bad. I am so excited. This is the most excited I've ever been in my life.
We'll go over a lot of different things today. We have some guests coming at 3 p.m. Shane Soderwall and Eelis Laaksonen from the Division III quarterfinals. Ended up not making it to the national championship, but a big deal there for the Colonels and the men's ice hockey team. We have a lot to talk about off the top, starting a bit late today, trying to get back in the swing of things after 2 weeks of being pushed away from the schedule. Declan, take us through the Celtics' first win against the Magic. Jason Tatum not too good in that game. What do you have on that, and give me your take.
Yeah, you know, he didn't play well, but okay. So let's start off first with what actually happened. You had Derek White dropping 30 points, playing very well. He was leading the team. Also with Peyton Pritchard having 19 off the bench. So those two were really the driving force in the win. But yeah, I'd say, but the real thing was that the big three wasn't really too much on the box score when it came to getting points. You know, Jaylen Brown kind of struggled a little bit. So did Porzingis, so did Tatum. But I think Tatum struggled from shooting. But I still think Tatum had a good game just because it was rebounding, and he wasn't impacting just being on the court. And yeah, he didn't start the ball to shoot well, but I think he eventually got there.
Take a listen now to NBC Sports Boston on their read on Jason Tatum's wrist injury against the Magic.
We've got some not so great news for you if you're a Celtics fan. Jason Tatum has been listed as doubtful with a right wrist bone bruise for tomorrow night's Game 2 against the Magic. Shams Charania reporting Tatum underwent an MRI on the right wrist in the last 24 hours, and it's believed to be a pain tolerance injury, something the Celtics say they'll be managing day to day. Tatum landed on his wrist after a flagrant foul from Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
So, Declan, after all that, I mean, we talked about Tatum not playing well. That wrist injury also led to a really, I'd say, stirred-up controversy between him and Missoula saying get up, which I think is taken way out of proportion about what actually had happened. Jack, thoughts on Tatum's performance? And you had a lot to say in our little pre-show group chat.
I did. Look, Tatum's great. I'm very hard on Tatum, as you guys know. He's phenomenal. He's obviously proven to be a top 5 player in the National Basketball Association. There is no doubt about that. However, a star player in Game 1 against the Magic, if you're the 2 seed, coming off, I wouldn't say he had an outstanding postseason last year. He had a good postseason, and I think obviously he wants to have a better postseason this year and be a big factor of trying to repeat if we do. But again, he didn't have a great game, in Game 1, and Orlando's tough. Orlando knows how to play us, but I'm definitely happy that Boston was able to win, with Tatum being injured. And obviously, we all know what happened a couple years back when Tatum did get injured against Miami, when Jaylen Brown had the keys in his hands, and obviously he had 8 turnovers, and we all know what happened then. We lost in Game 7 against Miami, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. They play tonight, right? It's going to see what happens. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens tonight. I think it's a big game. I do think it will be a good sign if Jaylen Brown can lead these players to play their game, and he can even elevate his own game without Tatum on the floor tonight. It's going to be important, but I still think we're in good shape. He's got to get healthy soon, though. I mean, he's a top 5 player in the league, and he's our superstar. But it's going to be interesting to see what we do tonight.
Declan, thoughts on Game 2? What are you seeing from Tatum in this? Or not Tatum, but Tatum being out. What do you see from the team in this to be a better squad, potentially without him. How do you see them performing?
It'll always be interesting to see what they play. They have played a couple games without him this season. I don't remember how many games he missed. He doesn't usually miss like a lot of games. I don't even know if he's really missed a playoff game. But yeah, I think it'll be very interesting to see how they move forward. What kind of lineup they're gonna run. It'll be interesting to see if how they want to run the rotation, because I think it might look like, I would say that we'd probably start Al Horford at the 5 tonight. I think that's how the team's probably gonna run. It'll be really interesting to see how they do it though. So it's right.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think again, I know how big of a Tatum fan you are, right? And I understand where you're coming from. He did have 14 rebounds. He had 14. Didn't he have 14 points as well?
He had 14 rebounds, 17 points.
Okay. Well, so he didn't shoot well, obviously. We can agree.
Yeah.
And I do completely agree that players do still impact the game, not just by scoring. 14 rebounds is big time.
Which is what great players do.
You're right. But I still think I just would have loved to see Tatum come out in game 1 with a statement. Statement. And
but I'll also say this, there's also tons of games, depending on the start, where they won't always give Tatum the ball. Because like you said, Tatum is a very double team player a bunch. He definitely draws players towards him when on defense, and plus Peyton Pritchard had the hot hand, and so did Derek White. So I guess he's a star player, but you don't want your star player to demand the ball and be I should have the ball over the other guys who are making all the shots right now, So, I think they don't necessarily would need him in this series. I think they could still maybe get by. I think it'd be tougher to win.
Mm-hmm.
But I think once you get to a spot if you're playing the Knicks,
right,
you're playing the Cavs, if you play the Thunder,
especially in the East Finals.
Yes, you would definitely need Tatum, because I think we could get by a 7 seed. But then once you get to the Eastern Conference finals and the quarterfinals, it gets a little dicey right there. Just because, not saying that Jaylen Brown's not a great player, but when you have a guy like Jason Tatum who's been in the top 5 for the MVP race,
mm-hmm.
It'll be really interesting to see how it goes down. I think they could win. I think there's a definitely a higher chance tonight they lose though.
Yep, I agree.
Just because they don't have him. Also depends what kind of Jaylen Brown we're gonna see, because we talked before, how Jaylen is still coming off that little injury on his knee. It'll be because he didn't play amazing. He played pretty all right.
Yep.
On Sunday, but
I do think again doubtful means he's most likely not going to play. So
definitely yes.
So it right now, the Celtics fans, including the Celtics players, are saying JB's got to be the guy tonight, and I hope JB will be the guy tonight.
But I don't even think JB necessarily has to be the guy.
And he doesn't, and that's a perfect, because look, he doesn't. I mean, Derek White's playing phenomenal. He's playing some really good basketball. Porzingis is playing tonight as well.
Kristaps did have a bad first game, but I think he'll bounce back, like he always does.
I do too. So I think I would be a little more concerned if Derek White was in a slump. Whereas how he's playing now, I think, is going to take a lot of pressure off of Jaylen Brown. And it's going to require, look, we have the 6th man of the year, Peyton Pritchard, right? It's going to require him to step up a little bit tonight, because you take Tatum out of the game, they're gonna move their defense to maybe Derek White or now maybe Jaylen Brown. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah,
but also interesting because that team, we know, the Magic are very physical on defense. They are a very physical team.
Mm-hmm.
And they really play hard. So it'll be interesting to see if they try to target Al Horford, if they try to go at him. I mean, I think Al's been a good defensive piece this year, but he will be turning 39 in June.
Yeah.
So that's always a factor. But yeah, I would still maybe lean towards the Celtics, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Magic stole one at home.
No, yeah, I mean, look, I think you make a lot of great points. I mean, I think I don't know how I feel about today. I mean, game 1 I felt a lot better because, again, when you have a healthy Tatum, it's hard not to feel good. But we're gonna see what happens tonight. I mean, I think Chuck touched upon it a bit earlier in the show. The Missoula get up thing. I saw that and I was kind of like, all right, dude. Like, I mean, I to me that makes me think he didn't think it was as bad as it was when it happened. I mean, you know, he told the team doctor at first to kind of like not go out. Which again, I mean, it's kind of how Missoula is, right? So I don't hate it, but at the same time, it's kind of like, all right, like he's actually injured.
But it's like, I'm really just say this, and then I don't think I have to keep talking about it. It doesn't really matter. It's not really a big deal at all.
Yeah,
it's just like an unnecessary talking point. Yeah, he said get up, but maybe he didn't know if he was injured or not.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's what I'll leave it.
I agree.
If we want, we can transition to maybe some other parts of the NBA playoffs.
Sure, let's do that. Why not?
Yeah. So
had me crawling all over the station there.
Yeah, Chuck's running around.
Still getting back, but yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. And we can start off with the first. We'll start with the Warriors. I think is good. So my thoughts going into this was going to be, the Rockets are going to win this in 5.
You did say that.
I did say that.
You said it to me too.
It also, my opinion will change depending on how this game goes tonight for the Rockets, though.
It's not, but I understand. Like when you said that prior to the series,
yes.
So it wasn't an insane take because again the Rockets have been playing good basketball.
Yeah.
So, but again, I mean, playoff Steph, and
but the Rockets did kind of get it back. You know, they had that big run in the fourth quarter. You know, they brought it back. I think they brought it back to be down by 4 at one point.
Yeah.
Yes, they didn't do it, but I think that's a big confidence builder for them.
100%.
Going into the next game. I think they kind of need this game. You know, like they're still going to be at home. You know, like,
they need this one in Houston.
And that home crowd is pretty good. You know, it's a pretty good home crowd. That Houston, you know, they're a very good playoff environment. They have been for years. Yeah, I really thought maybe the Warriors weren't really going to take this. Now I see the Warriors could actually win the series. I might still lean Rockets just for right now.
Okay.
But if the Warriors win the next game, I will call it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't hate that at all. Again, I think it's hard to call a series after one game. You know, I really do. One game, people are still trying to get into the groove of things, and regardless who you are, regardless if you're the reigning champions or you're an 8 seed or whatever, like it's game 1, right? Yeah. So
even after 2 games, you could say like.
Yeah, I mean, game two is a very important game. You know, I will say, especially when you're
on the road
and you want to steal one, or even if you're home and you won game 1, you want to maintain that. So game 2 is a very important game. So we're gonna see what happens tonight. If Steph balls out, it's just him being an all-time great. Steph's gonna do what he's gonna do. But I think an interesting series.
We can point out
is Detroit, New York. I mean, look, you got to give a lot of credit to this Detroit team. What they did from last year to now. Cade's playing well.
Yep. Thompson's
playing well. Like, what do you think of this Detroit team?
You know, I think they're good. I think they definitely have Coach of the Year. I think you've got to give JB Bickerstaff Coach of the Year. We're taking a team that had 14 wins and giving them a plus 30 difference, and they have 44 wins, getting that 6th seed. I could definitely see them beating this Knicks team because Cade Cunningham was so amazing last night. He was so just like getting to the cup, like getting his teammates involved. I would like to see his teammates get a little more involved. You know, like Malik Beasley didn't have a great game. Rashard Thompson had a good defensive game, but he didn't score that much. I think Jalen Duren played amazing though. But yeah, I think this Pistons team something to be reckoned with. I wouldn't sleep on them at all. I could definitely see them winning this Knicks series. I think this Knicks Pistons could maybe go 7 though.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
From last year, when you mentioned that they only had 14 wins, did they gain anything in the offseason, or is this just the same team that's buying in together? Like, is this the same roster, or most like
Tobias Harris?
Okay.
Tim Hardaway.
I heard Tobias Harris actually is like playing good basketball at the moment.
Oh yeah, he's actually been playing very good basketball. Yeah. The Pistons made him into a good player again.
Yeah. And it's cool. Like it's cool. I like those kind of stories. And again, yeah. I'm rooting for Detroit. Again,
yeah.
So it's
like they are a young team, but they do have that veteran leadership. You know, they got Harris, Hardaway, who have been there before.
100%.
You know, so
100%.
They also got Malik. I'm pretty sure they got Malik Beasley in the offseason, right? Or am I
think
wrong
I think they
that?
did. I think they did too.
I think I'm right about that.
And I think quickly we can both agree. OKC in 4. Not even going to be a
one more
question.
thing I want to touch on just real quick.
Yeah.
Is this the other series that I actually think will be the best series that happened a couple nights ago, the Clippers and the Nuggets, which has been absolutely amazing to see. You know, like you got many young players, you got a lot of vets in there too. So it's really interesting vet competition. You know, I know we saw like a Kawhi Leonard dropping 39 points the other night.
Yeah.
And then James Harden before dropping 39 himself. So they're really alternating on like who's scoring right there. I think it's a really good team. I think this Clippers team. I might lean this Clippers team in 7, just because I think they have a deeper bench. I think they have a deeper team. I think they played better. I think they played better.
Sorry, I'm distracting you guys. I know. I know Chuck wants to go to break, right?
We're gonna have to go to break.
Yeah. Super quickly. I can't believe Pacers are up 2-0. Giannis at 34 and 18 last night. That's insane. Pacers hopefully can beat the Bucks.
Pacers
I like the Bucks.
5.
An interesting open to our show. I was crawling on the floor.
Yeah.
Declan, Jack. We're going to take a really quick break. We'll be back, talk more Red Sox. Celtics off the top. We'll be right back here on the Hallal and Hickey Show, live Wednesdays 2 to 4 only on WMLN.
What a time this would be for Casas to break out. The pitch is high in the air into center field. This thing is way back. It is gone! Three-run homer for Casas. He does break out, and it is 7-3 Red Sox.
Let me tell you something about last night. I'm at Fenway Park. I come home. I say, you know what? I got some stuff to do. Missed a game. Was going to call a baseball game. Left my guys in the studio back. And my friend Jordan says, hey, Jordan, you know, Chuck, let's go to a Sox game. And what happens in that Sox game? Well, the Red Sox now 14-11 on the season. The doors have completely come off the American League. The Red Sox now the only team are up there with the Yankees with 14 wins in the American League. Facing a great pitcher in Bryce Miller, they put the I guess they put the pain up front. Jarren Duran opens the game with a triple. The stadium had 34,000 people in attendance to watch Brian Bayo make his season debut. And I'll start with you, Declan. What are your vibes like with this Red Sox squad who just seems to just keep getting better despite, you know, a 4-3 record against the White Sox, which was an interesting one?
Yeah.
What are the vibes? How you feeling?
I think the vibes are up. You know, it was pretty. Like, I think the vibes were going into that White Sox series were interesting. I think they're way up now because they actually won that series. I think it would have been maybe a different kind of vibe if they had somehow lost that series. It would have been. But I think it was a great confidence builder. I think they played way better. I think Brian Bayo was great.
Pretty solid, yeah. Aside from that first inning, I was clenching my chair.
Aside from the first inning, but
yeah.
But he eventually got the hang of it. You know, he's come back from injury, so you gotta give him some grace. You know what I mean?
Just one earned run, 5 innings pitched, 2 walks. He had 2 hit by pitches.
And but that's still a good sign to
yes.
That's still a good sign for him to pitch those first 5 innings. You know, he still gets the win. You know, I think this team definitely gets this confidence after playing like really well this past weekend. You know, like we played the clip earlier, like we had Triston Casas with that walk off. It was just not a walk off, but just a homer, just a 3-run homer. Just a 3. Was it 3 or was it a grand slam?
It was a 3-run homer.
Really?
No walk off. We won that game pretty cleanly. No walk off
I'm pretty sure it was a grand slam.
No, I was there. It was a 3-run home run.
Okay.
But I'll tell you something, Declan.
Okay.
Listen, I'll go off the top here from you.
But no, you're right.
I wish it was a grand slam.
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't. It was a 3-run homer.
I remembered wrong.
I wish it was a walk off, but it wasn't.
I was there.
I was there. But no, Declan, not to give you crap, but it was a great game. Alex Bregman, triple, a bunch of RBIs, a double as well. Jack, I mean, you heard it off the top there. Triston Casas struggling, right? Batting 154, hits a homer today, had his RBI walk-off win. I think that's what you were thinking about referring to.
That's what I meant, because I was talking about the White Sox series, not the
right.
the Mariners game.
Right. Sometimes I have selective hearing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Jack,
because it was a big 4-game series.
Right. Jack, 154 in the season for Casas, had a double for a walk-off off the Green Monster. Then last night, Chuck LaRossi in attendance, of course, speaking in third person Deion Sanders style. See him hit a 3-run home run. Now the wheels might be turning a bit for Casas, a very selective hitter. You, on the other hand, just kind of learned throughout the beginning of this is that this organization isn't really a big fan of their own first baseman. But from hearing from Cora talk about how, he's starting to get going and he'll sometimes leave it up to the players, do you put your trust in Cora to now round out this lineup with a team that's at 14 wins pretty early on now, looking to get the duck boats going?
I do. Look, I've always been big on Cora. I think signing him a couple of years back or maybe last year was absolutely crucial.
Getting that extension done, yeah.
Yeah.
Keep him here for another 3 years.
Yeah, I think he's a big factor in our success and has been. I do want to give a lot of credit to Casas because just like Rafi, a slow start, it's mentally draining.
Oh yeah.
And we saw now Rafi when he hits one, it's like a beach ball, the ball.
Right.
So hopefully that can be the same with Casas. The one thing I give a lot of credit to Casas about, and you guys might think this is silly, but I've never obviously played a professional sport, but I feel like really in anything, when you know that your organization or who you play for or work for doesn't want you there, and you continue to try and grind and continually want to be good for the team,
right?
It means a lot. Like it goes a long way. And obviously before Vladdy signed his contract with the Blue Jays, people are like, "Oh, are we gonna bring him in and ship Casas?" And it's like hearing that's like demoralizing.
It has to be. And also, I want to hear what Declan has to say about this. The front office talked about, we've never shopped Casas, but then I'm getting reports. I'm getting the correct reports. I don't want to name my source, but you guys probably have an idea of what I'm talking about how the Red Sox were looking to get either one of Luis Castillo or Bryce Miller, the guy we faced yesterday, in exchange for Casas and potentially something else. And when the org is saying to Boston Globe and to everybody else that we're not actively shopping Casas while being shopped, it's a little frustrating. And Declan, I want to hear. I know you like Casas as a player. Mm-hmm. Slow start. People are kind of giving him some crap. To me, is once you get into May, if you're still slow, that means you're just not a great player. But now, hitting that homer yesterday, what are your vibes with how the org potentially feels about somebody like Casas?
I think these past games have been a great a confidence booster for him. I think this is the start of something because it was the same thing with Rafi. Rafa's getting criticism after criticism after criticism, and then once you finally really start breaking through, then the hitting gets easy at that point. And I think the opinion of the ball club will probably change because I think he's still a great player. I think he's had some great moments to build off of now, and I think he'll probably start getting that average up. I really don't think we should trade him. I would think it would be a bad idea. Because I think he has the talent, and I think he's that good of a player, but I think people just give him gripes and just stuff against him just because they don't like him. They don't like how he paints his nails. They don't like personal things about him. But yeah, it is a very weird situation, like you said. Say, oh, we're not shipping him, but yet, like you said, they're in trade rumors for
right. But, that sorry to cut you off, but that being in preseason and that being, even before spring training, it's demoralizing, like Jack said, to have your name. Listen, it's the MLB, it's a business.
Yeah.
But, to be told by your front office that we're not shipping you and to be sat down, and like he said, I was sat down and spoken to, that they told me that I'm not in any trade package, and then to be in a situation where you are going to get traded because they want to. But that obviously didn't fall through. Nothing really worked out. And the same thing with Willie or Abreu. Abreu, a Gold Glover last year. They see Roman Anthony in the system. They say, oh, this guy can come up. And they quickly understood that a guy like Sidney Rafaela could move to the bench. And now, today, Roman Anthony, playing his first game in the field, was DHing the entirety of these last 20 games in Worcester, playing, and what a surprise, left field. So getting time in left field, and time will tell when Roman Anthony will be up, and that would mean that Rafaela, of course, would move to the bench, and somebody would get shipped down to Worcester. And to me, when your lineup until 1 through 9 can hit is unbelievable. I mean, if you add Roman Anthony to this lineup, you're looking at Jaren Duran in center field. You're looking at Devers at DH, Alex Bregman at third base, Trevor Story at short, who's been on a heater batting .340. I saw him yesterday 0 for 5, but the only game he hasn't reached was yesterday. Then, Willie Abreu's going to be in right. You'll have, the opportunities are endless. Christian Campbell will be at second. Then you'll move Anthony in left. Then it's just a lineup of nothing but people that can hit. And to me, and I told Jack before the season started, that opening day game, I said this team can win the American League East and also can win the American League. And Jack was like, I don't know. It's early, but, the pen looks all right. The starters have been doing their job. Walker Buehler looks disgusting. I mean, he's got a 1.85 ERA through his last 4 starts. The only problem facing them is a guy like Tanner Houck at the top of the rotation who has gotten hit hard like crazy. 11 earned runs in one of his starts. I mean, so time will tell with this squad, and time will tell how they will rebound or not rebound, but how they will continue their winning ways and hopefully turn this into a streak.
Yeah, I will say this, like a guy who's also come up big for hitting at the catcher position, also Carlos Narvaez.
Narvaez, yeah.
Has actually come up pretty big for Connor Wong, who's been absent with the little injury. I don't know what his timetable is.
A little pinky injury. I'm sure they'll hold him out a little longer. It's pretty tough as a catcher, especially to lose a pinky like that.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But I think Carlos has come up big in his second moments. Is he as good of a catcher as Connor Wong? Maybe not, but he's still decent. I
mean, to me, according to Savant and StatMetrics, his pop time's better, his arm's better.
Oh, really?
But I think his framing.
Yeah. I would say his framing is.
Wong's framing is not great, but at the end of the day, Narvaez, he's stepping up in a pretty solid role. I mean, he's a young guy who's in the Yankees system, so I'm sure we'll see what happens. But that, I guess, round us up to the end for the Sox talk, and guys look great. Penn, a little rocky, but I'm sure the lineup's staying hot and the starters will continue. And hopefully we pick up this series win and continue on. 162 games, of course, in one baseball season, a long time to go. And up next, the question that we've been dreading to talk about every single episode. What will the Patriots do at 4? Jack, you definitely have an answer for that. Declan does as well. I do as well. I am really tired of talking about it, but what's tomorrow, Jack?
Draftathon.
That's right. You could say that 10 times
in
fast.
sync right there. I like that.
I love that. We'll be right back after this quick break on WMLN 91.5 Curry College Radio. Listen to the Hallal and Hickey Show, live Wednesdays 2 to 4, only on WMLN. You're listening to the Hallal and Hickey Show, Wednesdays 2 to 4, only on WMLN. Now, for your hosts, Jack Hallal and Declan Hickey. You're listening to the Hallal and Hickey Show? Is that what this is called? On WMLN 91.5. Yeah, it might be that.
Yeah.
Curry College Radio. We got 15 minutes till Shane Soderwall and Eelis Laaksonen join us here, talk about their season, and also what awaits Shane Soderwall later if Jack has the cojones to ask, I guess. Are you going to ask?
I'll ask.
Oh yeah, I think it's not like a crazy thing to ask. It's
No,
okay. Just the way you say it, right?
What's the ask?
Maybe like what he's looking for.
Why are you hitting the portal? I don't know. We'll talk about that later. Anyways, we got a lot off the top here. We talked Celtics. We talked Red Sox. We'll have about 20 minutes of our guys in at 3. Then we'll take a little break, probably, as we always do. I know breaks are annoying. Mm-hmm. Then the new segment for today's show, the 60-second drill. You have to give your hottest current take in 60 seconds. You have to either beat the buzzer or you go over just a little bit, and then we'll all agree on what take is actually the best one or like one that makes the most sense. But for now, off the top, a little bit of speculation and drama, and oh my goodness, the 4th overall pick. We've talked about this almost a million times now. Here's Christopher Price on 98.5 The Sports Hub talking about that 4th overall pick and what he expects the Patriots to do.
So tell me, quarterback aside, a draft pick at number 4 for the Patriots that would both excite you and stun you. Like, oh my God, I can't believe the New England Patriots just selected fill in the blank.
If Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter are there,
They're gone. They're gone.
They're gone.
Because you'll
Then
take one of those guys.
Ashton Genty.
Okay.
And that
My
would excite
colleague-
you. A running
my
back.
colleague Ben Volen wrote about this, and I think he may have convinced me that he would be the guy who would, I think, surprise a lot of people, excite a lot of people. Look, he was the best offensive skill position player in college football last year, and the Patriots need offensive skill position players in the worst possible way.
I don't understand the Ashton Genty train. Do any of you? To an extent, does it make sense?
I mean, I get it to a little bit of an extent. Would I say pick him? Probably not. But I kind of understand like how we need offensive, and like he's definitely like an amazing potential, and like he's also like an amazing talent. But I like, so I kind of get it, but I'm not really 100% sure if we should really draft him at 4.
I don't at all, honestly. I know you guys don't see me today on our video stream, but I'm here. I'm alive. Chuck LaRosse. You can follow me at Chuck LaRosse on Instagram
Okay.
and Twitter. Plug me as much as sick brag, bro.
Okay.
I don't get it
Okay.
at all, actually. I don't understand the...
Not one bit?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't at all. I'm going to get mad. I don't like getting mad. Jack knows that. When Jack gets mad, Jack rage baits, and it's fine. Jack, you're a great rage baiter, by the way. If we had an award for that, we'd hand it out. But here's the thing. Why on earth are we going to take a running back at 4 to run behind Vidarian Lowe? I don't like to run. I get he's an incredible talent. I'm sure Ashton Genty will be a type of guy that you extend even as a running back, a Saquon Barkley type of player. But when you're in a position like the Patriots are, and I fully have come to terms with accepting the fact that we are drafting a lineman. Have I come to terms with drafting Will Campbell at 4? Really, no. But I have to, because it's going to happen. Or if the Giants lend us a helping hand for giving us Bill Belichick as well and saying, thank you, Giants.
Yeah, like if
We,
they pull
they take Shedeur Sanders and we get one of the 2 best players in the draft. That's how bad this draft class is. There's only 2 guys at the top of this draft class. The rest could be good, not elite or great players. Usually your 1 through at least 15 are elite or great players, right? Unless you're the Raiders and you draft a random player like Alex Leatherwood. I'm just saying, like, you in this position cannot take Ashton Genty at 4. You cannot, especially with the organization that you're within. Jack probably agrees with me. Jack, have you come to terms with this? You know they're taking a tackle.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I will. I mean, I'm here in the station from 8 to 12 tomorrow.
Right.
And if I hear Ashton Genty get called, I don't care who's here. I will grab my bag and I will leave.
Just get out.
It's you don't take a running back in top 5. You don't really take running backs really that early. I mean, regardless how good they are.
Right.
But also, your point, you make a great point. Like, we don't have a great O-line.
No.
So why are you going to waste the talent of Ashton Genty? Sure,
Yes.
he can create his own lanes, but we need – yeah, Ramondre's not the answer, but he's okay enough for right now. We need more – look, I think it's going to be Will Campbell. I do.
Yeah,
I
it is.
really do. But do I think Travis
Yeah.
and Abdul will go in the top 3?
Yes.
I don't.
They will.
I think Abdul will fall to us.
No, he won't.
I think
How?
because,
Let me tell you.
Because, let me just finish.
I
Right.
feel like that's just cope, though.
I think
like,
he-
when you say that.
I think Tennessee will go 1.
Sure.
I think I think Cam Ward will go 1. I think Cam Ward will go 1. Shedeur will go 2.
Sure.
And I think Travis goes 3. And I think Abdul falls to us. That's what I think.
Copium.
Wait.
It's not gonna happen.
Wait.
Declan.
So the Giants draft who you said? Who'd you say the Giants draft?
Giants draft Travis.
And then who the Browns draft?
No. Shedeur. I said that.
What?
Huh? Yeah. I said Cam Ward at 1. Shedeur at 2.
There's no way the Browns take a QB.
I think they do. They don't have anyone at QB though.
Who did they sign? Yeah, they
They
yeah.
signed Flacco. He's not.
Yeah, they're gonna run Flacco. Like, why wouldn't you?
You know what
'Cause,
would
like,
be interesting? You know what would be interesting?
What?
And you missed it because I know you're in my science class, but we were talking about it for the past couple weeks. It'd be very interesting if Shedeur goes to like the Saints, which could happen because they need a QB.
But if that happens, I hope Abdul Carter is gonna be a Giant.
Yes. No, I understand. That would happen if it's Cam, Travis, Abdul, and then we get Campbell. Right.
But Sanders though has dropped in the draft board. He's dropped massively. Like, you've seen the reports in the mock draft, right?
Yeah.
That he might drop down to the same. Like, he'll probably drop down all the way to the. Like, at this point, he might even be like drop down all the way to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah. I mean, well, I think Milroe's going to Pittsburgh.
Milroe's not going in the first round.
So I was in the middle of setting up our guest because,
Yeah.
you know, Milroe's not going in the first. It's not going to happen.
Milroe's not.
All right.
Let's be honest.
Jackson.
All right. That's why I'm
By
not
the
in
way,
the draft room.
By the way, I don't understand the mock drafts, but bro, Jackson Dart might get picked ahead of Jalen Milroe at this point.
Okay.
Jackson Dart might get picked ahead of him, and that's not even a lie.
He probably would.
There's no way the Browns pick Sanders, just because like they know they're not going to be that great, and they know they don't really need, and like why would you pass up on a talent like Travis Hunter? And hey, you can just ride with Joe Flacco for a year. You know,
It's going to go Cam Ward,
Travis.
Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter.
Wait. Are you think the Browns pick Abdul
Yeah,
Carter?
the Browns are going to take Carter.
No, Browns taking Travis Hunter.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, that's
Go
fine.
Hunter, then
I just
Patriots take Campbell.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how it's going to play out. I hope we get Abdul. I think if Abdul was there at 4, it's within 30 seconds to pick him.
You see Jack looking straight up. I mean, it's been a busy day today here at WMLN 91.5.
Yeah, Chuck's been running around like a headless chicken.
That's exactly what it's been like.
Sure.
You know, we'll either guys anything more to say on the 4th overall pick, or do we want to wrap up here, go to break, and then?
Well, I think for 1 second we can talk about the links that the Eagles have made in the rumors.
Oh, that's right. We can talk a little bit about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it was WEI's. I can't remember who made the.
Nick Fitzy Stevens.
Yep, he said he had a source about saying that if Abdul Carter somehow fell with the Patriots at 4, I don't really know like how true the rumor really is, like at this point. But he said that if Abdul Carter fell all the way down to the Patriots at if he fell to the Patriots at 4, then the Patriots would then the Eagles would offer them AJ Brown for Abdul Carter. Like they basically do a straight swap for both of them. And Jack, like, how do you and what do you think about that rumor that was made by Fitzy from WEI?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh my god!
No. Like, why are we talking about the Eagles? I just totally spaced out. Something happened. I'm sorry.
Because okay, again from the top. So
Just summarize.
So the point was if the Patriots drop down the 4 and Abdul Carter drops down the 4 and the Patriots are right there, apparently it was a rumor made that the Eagles would offer us AJ Brown for Abdul Carter.
No, I don't think it's gonna happen. I can't see it.
It could happen.
It could definitely happen.
I don't know about all that draft capital though.
Right, that's exactly.
I don't know if they would give up all that draft capital.
Right.
Well, like, wouldn't it be a straight swap?
No.
No, really? You don't
there's-
think it'd be a
yeah,
straight swap?
No, it's the 4th, bro. Come on, especially for AJ. You gotta give up some. You gotta give up your second. You gotta give up some draft capital as well.
I don't mind doing it though.
Both teams have leverage. I mean, I think I wouldn't mind it either, but both teams have leverage in that regard.
No, but I also think both teams would win that trade.
It's true.
Both teams would win the trade. That's the crazy part.
They would. And unfortunately, guys, we're gonna have to go to break
That's fine.
because
I got my thoughts.
things happen. Just like today, where you guys saw me running past your cameras about 4 times.
Crawling on the floor to
I bet
get past the
I
camera.
bet Chuck's beats per second right now is probably
Dude,
200.
it's like 700. All right, we'll be back here after a quick break. We have Shane Soderwall and Eelis Laaksonen up in the other room. We'll talk a little bit to them, and we'll be right back after this quick break.
You're listening to the Hallal and Hickey Show, Wednesdays 2 to 4, only on WMLN. Now, for your hosts, Jack Hallal and Declan Hickey.
I fly like paper, get high like planes. If you catch me at the border, I got visas in my name. If you come around here, I'll make a more.
You're listening to WMLN 91.5 Curry College Radio. Chuck Rossi, your producer. Joined here by Jack Hallal and Declan Hickey. It was a great show thus far. We talked off the top with the Celtics and the Sox. They were killing the game yesterday. And just a great inning. We had a break. We came right back out, talked Patriots number 4 overall. Ken walked into our shot. I crawled on the floor. And finally at the end of all of this, we have our guests in studio. How you guys doing today?
Doing well, thank you.
Good. How are you?
Well, I'm doing awesome. It's great to have you guys in here. Jack, we'll start off the top. You can begin and just get this going. These two guys, of course, happy to have them on the show. Jack, what do you have for Shane just to start off?
Yeah, I guess kind of this goes for both of you guys. First of all, thank you for coming on the show. I know Shane, we've been in contact trying to figure out schedules, and finally we've figured out a time. So thanks again. It does mean a lot for us to have you guys on. But I think because this is the first time we're talking, and for the people listening and for really us, what was it like for both of you to experience the Division III national championship postseason, and what was it like just being like the predominantly powerhouse team on this campus, and having everyone kind of just around you and wishing you guys all the best? What was it like to do that?
Yeah, first off, we're super happy to be here. And then just going on to that question, I think it's super special to us to be able to play such a great sport here on campus and have success doing it. So, playing in that Frozen Four game, there's so much that goes into the full year, and I think just to have success through the whole year and to be able to take that into the Frozen Four was super special for us. But I'm just super grateful to be able to play for such a special group of guys, and it was a super great year, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Shane said, thanks for having us, obviously, and kind of building off that, it's obviously cool. I think as a team, we knew from early on that we had a chance to do something special, and we had a good group of guys, and it kind of kept building on over the course of the year, and then kind of going into after the Christmas break and into the spring here, we had a nice little win streak going, and it kind of just felt like a lot of things were finally clicking, and it was really cool to see all the support from the school and students and alumni and everyone. So overall, I think it was a really, really cool and a successful year, even though we fell a little short of the national championship that we were going for.
Yeah. I'll go to the next question. This is kind of more of a not really mainly about hockey, but maybe more like not really like a personal question, but more like for both of you being like, because both of you are, because I know Shane, you're going to Clarkson, right? And Eelis, I know you're going to you are graduating, right? Okay. Yes. Okay. So yeah, I just want to like looking back at your time at Curry for both of you, what would you think would be like when you first got the Curry? What was like your hardest moment, or like what was the hardest part like about it that both of you would say?
I think for me, just the transition from junior hockey to the collegiate level was the biggest struggle for me. I wouldn't say struggle, but it was the thing that I've noticed was the hardest thing for me was just when you get to NCAA level, you're pretty much starting from scratch from juniors. So just trying to work hard. You're coming in as a first-year guy. You want to just work hard and just try and be able to get some time in games. And fortunately for me, I was able to come here and play. I think my sixth or seventh game in, which was rare, but it was. I'm super grateful that I was able to come in as a first-year guy and play. So.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Shane there. I think for me, coming in as a freshman and just coming into college, you don't really know what it's going to be like. It's going to be really different, and kind of everyone has a clean slate. It doesn't really matter where you come from or what league or anything. And then obviously my freshman year was also the first year with Coach Roundy, and a new coach at a program can always mix some things up, and you never know where you're going to sit. So I think just that adjusting to the college game, kind of finding a balance between not only hockey but school and social life and all that, it can be difficult. But like Shane said, I was fortunate enough to get some great opportunities here, and then it's been a good ride.
So Declan, I didn't think you were going that route. That was a good question. Yeah, no. So just to kind of, because again, we cover every game that you guys played, and we were actually up in Utica. It wasn't us. It was it was one of our guys and a couple of other guys calling the games. But I want to ask, because again, in the game, I want to know what it's like. First, for a guy like Ryan Pruitt, who is getting in the opponent's face so much, especially on the defensive end, and kind of just like, being that guy and being that aggressive guy. How does that spark kind of a light in your team's energy?
You want me to
Yeah,
go here?
I mean, I think there's two different sides to this.
Yeah, I think I live with Ryan, so I know that Ryan kind of lives for that stuff. He, I think one of his favorite things to do is just get under the opposing team's skin and kind of mess with them. And he does some things that the other team doesn't appreciate, obviously, and it can give us some life if we need it. And there were multiple instances this year where we needed a little something, and he would either cause them to take a penalty or something like that. But I think it was great, kind of playing under the other team's skin there. But I think sometimes Shano here got a little frustrated with him. But
yep. There's only so much stirring the pot that you can take as a goalie. You want to keep things calm in there. So when you would see somebody get too close to me in there, and he would push, slash, do whatever he would think is right, was great to see. But there were times where he would take things too far. But he's such a great guy off the ice that you just see those things. You are probably mad for 2 seconds, then you're just right back to normal, happy Ryan and Shane.
Yeah, you would never, if you saw him off the ice, you'd never imagine him, playing the way he does sometimes. So it's a big contrast.
I know, every time I saw Ryan on the ice, I remember the Hamilton game. You guys can't see me right now, but I remember the Hamilton game. He quite literally almost put his hands in this guy's face. I mean, it was unbelievable, and I appreciate a player like that. I'm in class with him. He is nothing like that as a person, but it's always also great to have that on the ice. Declan, anything else actually next?
It could be like another kind of question.
Yeah, go ahead. Right ahead.
Okay, yeah. For both of you, yeah, because okay. So I'll just go. Like both of you, looking back at the end of your career, right? Or like either you, what would you think would be like the thing you're like most proud of, or like what's the or like what'll be a moment you most remember? And you can answer either one of those. Just yeah.
For me, just seeing the program grow so much in the 2 years that I've been here, and seeing the support from the school. I think my first year here, I mean, the fans are great, but I think our second year and going into the CNE championship and going into the games leading up to the Frozen Four, you could see that support throughout the school, and I just think there was so much growth from this year compared to my first year here, and it was super special to see such a school just come together to support a team. It was just great to see.
Yeah, I agree. My freshman year, the school hadn't won a conference playoff game in I think it was 7 years or something, and then I feel like every year we built off that. Like first year conference playoff game, and then next year we lost in the championship, and then last year made it to the NCAA quarterfinals, and Shane had that crazy game, and we went to 4 overtimes, and then this year, Frozen Four. So I think maybe next year the boys will finally do it, and I think build off every year so far. But I think one of the most proud things I am of my time here at Curry is probably just being able to lead these guys and be voted in as a captain this year. I think over my 4 years, there's been some great leaders, and I kind of learned a lot from them over every single year I've been here, and just trying to pass that knowledge down has been awesome.
So I know we've Elias, I know you touched upon it. It was his first year when you came to campus. But what's it like being coached by a guy like Peter Roundy? I mean, it's not. We've heard nothing but amazing things about him. Off the ice, and obviously the coach he is. He's done an amazing job with this program. Only about 4 years in or so. What's it like? What does he mean to you guys? And what's it like playing for a guy like that?
I mean, for me personally, I think it's been awesome. He lets the players, play in a way that kind of helps you grow and helps you build confidence in a way where, there are some coaches in other teams and other leagues, obviously, that maybe, have guys play one certain way, and it's like, if you don't do this, you're not going to play, or if you don't, do X, Y, Z, you're not going to play, and Coach Roundy kind of lets guys, make plays, and one of the big things he said was, mistakes will happen, and he's not going to get on you for making mistakes, but if you do make a mistake, make up for it, and always, try your hardest. And I think that's been awesome, because it allows for players to have this kind of freedom to make plays and use some creativity and stuff. And it's not just set in its own system that kills creativity. And I think that creativity has helped us over the years.
Yeah, I mean, he said everything there is to say when it comes to the playing standpoint. I think for me, just him throwing all of his trust in me as a first-year guy, and when he was trying to get me to come here, I just think he's such a great person, and just a super calm coach, and his door is always open if you need to talk to him or things like that. So I just think to have that relationship with somebody like that is super special, and when it comes to the playing style, he said everything there is to say. So yeah, he's just super calm and just a great guy.
Yeah, so this question is gonna be mostly for just Shane. It's more because we obviously know you entered the transfer portal, and you chose Clarkson as a team you'll be going to next year in college. But I want to be what was your decision in why picking Clarkson, and were there other teams / colleges that you considered, and what was your whole process and your whole decision into why you went to enter the transfer portal, why you chose Clarkson, and were there any other schools that you were thinking about? And just want to know the whole process is basically it.
Yeah, so just basing things off of how my first 2 years in college went, my dream has always been to play D1. So I just thought from the years I had and the numbers that I've had, I knew I could make the jump. When it came to choosing a school, there was some other interests, but I chose Clarkson because first off, the storied program, and then just being able to know some of the staff and players there made it pretty easy and less stressful to choose a school to go to. I just thought just things worked out so well where I'm able to work out with the goalie coach during the summer, and just being able to know some people there made the transition, I'd say, pretty smooth.
Yeah, I'm also gonna have one question that's gonna be a follow up to that, Shane, would be what do you think will be your biggest challenge at Clarkson compared to Curry? What do you think is gonna be your biggest challenge once you get to Clarkson compared to the challenges here?
I think it's just a mindset thing for me. I know the speed and the skill is going to be higher level, I'd say, but just going in and not focusing on my past and being a D3 hockey player, just knowing that you can play at the D1 level is something that I need to take with me when I go play for Clarkson. But just to keep the same habits and stuff like that is something that I'm going to do as well. So just knowing that I can play D1 and just striving to improve things is something that I'm focusing on going to Clarkson.
So I know those questions, Declan, were meant for Shane, but Eelis, I have a question for you, being the leader of one of the leaders of the team and captain and senior. What's it like? Whether it's you're winning a game or maybe even if like in between periods, if you're down a goal or two, how do you kind of make sure the energy is where you want it to be, and how do you elevate the guys to perform at their highest level and not get too ahead of the moment, or just propel them in a positive mindset to keep going?
Yeah, I think that's one of the hardest things you have as a leader. I think it all depends on the game and the situation and stuff like that, where there are games where we came out of, let's say, the first period and we had a couple goal lead, but we thought we didn't play well. Like Shano would have some great saves in the first period and we got a couple lucky bounces and we feel like, we didn't play our best. And I think at that point we kind of just have to, as leaders, just reiterate that, we're in a good spot here, but that's not our best, and we have to play our game and forget about who we're playing. And then, there were some times this year where, like when we were up in Cortland and we were down what it might have been 5-1 or something after the first period, and we ended up losing that game. But I think it was just kind of the mindset there was we don't quit as a team. I think we keep playing, and it wasn't our best game there, but I think after those couple periods, even though we knew that maybe a comeback there was kind of out of the picture, we knew that it was the first game of the weekend. We were playing them the next day, and we kind of have to build good habits and details for the next day. So it really does depend on the game and also like certain guys, and not everyone responds to certain things the same way. And I think that's kind of the hardest part, is knowing when you have to be vocal or when you have to kind of be more on guys, and sometimes you just have to give them a little more space. So it is difficult, but I think there needs to be a healthy balance of, like, not every time you can just come in and start screaming at guys, and not every time can you always just be that, all right, we got this. So there's got to be a balance.
So this question's more to the both of you, making it all the way down Frozen 4. What message do you have not only to the support that surrounded your guys' run, but also to the staff and your teammates and to the people that are looking towards next year? What message do you have for them for this upcoming season and the support that was rallied around you guys?
Yeah, I mean, first off, you obviously want to thank them for their support the whole year, but I just want them to know, like, we have a big bulk of players coming back, and there's only a couple seniors leaving. So I just think knowing that we have the same, base and mold of a team that went so far last season, and I just think there's going to be more success to come for this program.
Yeah, kind of build off that is just, I don't think this is, this program's been building something good here for a while, and I don't think this is like a one-off. So I think people should be hopefully ready to hopefully have another big year next year, and it's not just about the players. It takes coaching staff, trainers, everyone who helps around the rink and everything. So there's a lot of support from a lot of people outside the program and within the program, but like Shano said, there's a lot of very skilled guys coming back, and I'm sure Coach Roundy and Coach Sones are recruiting some great players here for next year as well. So I think hopefully expect another great run next year.
So you guys know this is a sports show. I just wanted to wrap the last question up. What do you guys got in the cup? I mean, who's got it?
I'm going to go the Colorado Avalanche.
Why exactly?
Their depth, scoring, Their goaltending is superb, I'd say. They have two 1A, 1B goalies, so I think that plays a huge part. If one has a shaky game, you can throw the 1B goalie in and he'd be fine.
Yeah. Shout out to Curry grad Austin Whelan. I think it is the Toronto Maple Leafs year this year.
Any reason why?
They're looking good. Like Shano said, I think they finally got some solid goaltending in there. So I think it might be their year. And they don't have the Bruins to play, so.
Tough season for the Bruins and company. Soderwall, Laaksonen, thank you so much for joining us here today, guys, and we really appreciate your time.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
I'm going to take a quick break here on the Hallal and Hickey Show. We'll be back for some more coming off the top with the 60-second drill. For more here on WMLN 91.5 Curry College Radio, we'll be right back.
You're listening to the Hallal and Hickey Show, Wednesdays 2 to 4, only on WMLN. Now, for your hosts, Jack Hallal and Declan Hickey.
Man, we have snitches, man. Bugged out, man.
If you're just joining us here on WMLN 91.5, you just missed out on our interview with quarterfinalists Shane Soderwall and Eelis Laaksonen. It was a great interview. I'm glad you guys cooked on that one. It was a great one to enjoy. You could actually find that later on YouTube at Hallal and Hickey. You can find that also on Instagram as well at Hallal and Hickey. You can follow us on Twitter and actually TikTok. Our first post pending, but we have our account now. So maybe we'll grow our base with random 18-year-old community members, as usually what happens on TikTok. Guys, a great show today. It was a really fun one. Off the top, we talked Celtics. We talked JT's struggles. We talked about the injury. We talked about what else? That's kind of all we talked about, right?
We
talked about the Sox. We talked about my live reaction.
Who's the Patriots pick?
Patriots, all that stuff here on WMLN 91.5 Hallal and Hickey Show, Wednesdays 2 to 4 only on WMLN. If you're listening on the TuneIn app, continue streaming our show. It's always great to see. Cole Rodriguez is in the other room, and he can't hear me, but that's one of my all-time WMLN guys right there. Shout out Cole Rodriguez in the other booth, always working. Guys, up next is a new segment. It's called the 60-second drill. You give your hottest current take, and then out of the three of us, we need a tiebreaker, of course. Maybe we'll have someone call in. Maybe we'll ask Siri. Maybe we'll ask ChatGPT. Or, we just ask somebody in the station to pick one of them. But a lot of people don't really – some people here don't even watch sports. So
you're giving one a hot take, too?
I'm giving one as well.
Perfect.
Listen.
Oh.
I'm here for a reason, right?
100%.
100%. What grinds my gears, as they say.
I was going to ask Soderwall the grind. I should have said shucks.
Why didn't you just say it? All right, so listen. Bill Shanahan, shout out Bill, told me that my radio voice is terrifying, which is interesting. So I have decided to make my hot take not about that or anything like that. I just wanted to bring that up, Jack. What do you think about that?
What, the 60-second?
No, what do you think about my radio voice? Is it scary, like Bill says?
No, I don't think so. What? I mean, I know you as a person. I know Bill, both phenomenal human beings. Shout out Bill Shanahan. Shout out his mass comm class. Dude's an absolute G.
But
I don't think you have a scary voice.
I thought I did for a little bit because.
I'll say this though.
Oh God.
I'll say this though.
Uh-oh.
You have a very what's it called? Because very concise, very strong.
It's a radio voice.
But
you're calling me a Syracuse robot? Is that what you're calling me?
No,
Mr. Adius.
Okay, it's okay, but I kind of get what he's saying a little bit, just from the way you emphasize stuff,
enunciate.
Yeah,
it's okay. I get it.
You
hate me.
Yeah, no,
I get it.
Okay, you think you're Jack right now? Okay.
I get it. All right, guys, listen. It's time for the 60-second drill on WMLN 91.5 Curry College Radio. Who wants to go first? You know what? Actually, let me... Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by the toe.
I'm not going, you go.
Jack's going.
Yeah.
Jack, are you ready? Do you have a take? Mr. Grinds my gears. You better have a take, bro.
I have a take.
All right. You ready?
I am.
60 seconds start now.
1,
So, a take I have, 60 seconds. James Harden is
God.
not a top 5 shooting guard of all time. I have my personal top 5. It's my opinion. Declan here. We're on air. I'm not going to use the words he uses to me off air, but he is very passionate about James Harden. He's passionate about the cooking in the crock pot. But I don't think he's top 5 shooting guard. I have my list. If you want to hear my list, it's no particular order. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, Allen Iverson, Tracy McGrady is my top 5. Again, I think you can switch out 4 and 5 with others. You can make that argument. You see Declan is really distracting
20
me.
seconds.
I can see him on the corner of my eye. I don't like that jersey. But yeah, that's my hot take. I don't like James Harden. I think he's a cancer. I think he's a cancer to the locker room.
10 seconds.
And that's where I stand. So, thanks, guys. All right, see ya.
Declan?
Should my hot take be the rebuttal, or do you think?
No, your hot take is your own hot take.
Exactly.
Something different than that?
If you have a rebuttal as your hot take, that can work. Sure.
Do you think it should?
Dude, just do something different. Because then we all will have 3 different takes, and someone will need to choose the best.
I'm sure we can. I mean, if Josh is still around, I'm sure he'll be our tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, as he waves.
I don't know. I kind of do want a rebuttal.
Okay, rebuttal it.
Yeah. My hot take: James Harden is a top 4 shooting guard of all time. Top 4, not even the 5. He's better than Allen Iverson. He's better than Tracy McGrady. Jack wanted to tell me that Reggie Miller was better. Ray Allen was better. Clyde Drexler? Drexler, man?
All 3.
And he said Luka Doncic right now.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Let me get my hot take. I didn't interrupt you. So, yeah. James Harden is an MVP. Prime James Harden is in my lifetime, one of the best players I've ever watched. He's definitely up there for a player I saw in his prime watching growing up. He was an elite player. He was an elite top 5 player year after year after year. And it just bugs me to say that you hate James. Hey, you can hate James Harden. You can't deny his greatness. He's one of the best shooting guards. He was able to be a great shooting guard in this era of dealing with KD, LeBron, and Steph Curry.
Right on the clock. That's aura. Okay. I have nothing. Mine has nothing to do with what you guys are saying, but I'm on the clock now. I think postseason stats absolutely matter to a person's overall, I guess, player potential. I guess some people like Tatum. I love Jason Tatum, but his last postseason run didn't do well. So then, there's that whole thing where it's like, is he still a good player? Is he not? I think postseason stats absolutely should count when it comes to a player's, let's say, Hall of Fame status. I'll go to football. Maybe a guy like Julian Edelman. Have you seen this guy's playoff stats?
Insane.
Okay, yeah, his regular season stats are like.
But when it matters. JT, kind of the opposite of that, where it's like he's not great in the playoffs. He's been triple teamed. He can't really work through it. A lot of people get triple teamed. He can't really work through it. I think the postseason stats matter when it comes to that Hall of Fame, I guess, look, and also in general. So that's my hot take. I think postseason stats matter.
Extra time to spare.
Oh, we have some extra time to spare. Do we have more hot takes?
From us?
Do we have some?
From us? That was the only kind of take I like.
Yes, I do.
I thought we were doing one.
I do.
Okay, before we do that, we need Josh in Studio C. Josh, you need to give us what you think out of you can see him walking in there.
Yeah.
You play for the Celtics,
There
bro?
he is.
You play for the Celtics?
He's a C's guy.
Stop.
Don't tell me to stop, dude.
Josh, you got us in there?
How does it feel to
I got
sit in
you.
Shane
There we go.
Soderwall's seat?
Ask him that again, Jack. Josh, do you want to answer that, or should we just move on from what Jack just said?
What did he say?
How does it feel to sit in the seat that Shane Soderwall just sat in?
I feel pretty cool.
Appreciate it.
That's a normal answer. We would have probably answered differently outside of the expletives. Josh.
What's up? Sorry, I'm turning around. I should be facing.
Yeah,
you guys
there's a
up here.
camera right there. Come on, Josh.
The lighting's doing me
know,
horrible.
I
in
know
this.
it's crazy. I know.
You look
Listen,
insane. You look
listen.
sorry, my bad.
So Jack,
Yes.
Your take is?
Yep.
Go ahead.
James Harden is not a top 5 shooting guard of all time.
Declan's take is?
No chance.
My take was the rebuttal. I was saying that James Harden is a top 5, not just top 5, top 4 shooting guard of all time.
Josh, my take is completely different from theirs, and it's that postseason stats should matter about someone's Hall of Fame career. Like a guy like Julian Edelman, who wasn't great in the regular season, but his postseason might push him enough to be a Hall of Famer.
I'm completely okay. So first of all, I'm in the middle of Jack and Declan. I think he's number 5.
Okay.
I think he's in the middle.
That's
I
fair.
completely agree with what Chuck just said. I completely agree with that.
So, since you're kind of in the middle with both, do you have a hot take yourself?
Okay, so here's the thing. So not with this general thing.
Yeah, do you have a hot take? And I can put you on the clock for 60 seconds.
Okay, so let me tell you this, and Chuck, you remember this. I have a hot take segment.
That's
on our
right,
show.
you do.
I have an entire Google Doc of about 25 pages of just straight hot takes.
Give me one hot take, and you have 60 seconds.
Oh, I gotta find a good one
to do it.
We'll wait to set the timer.
Timer is ready.
Okay, so I make these bi-weekly. I don't just like kind of do all the time like you guys are doing right now. I make them by the week. So I gotta find like a.
What's a recent one?
A good one too. It's gotta be a good one. It can't be a bad one. Okay.
Oh, some of these are bad.
Oh no.
Some of them are just for him to play his on-air personality.
Are they just for rage bait, some of them? Or some of them just for rage bait?
See how long it's going to take Josh to find one here.
Oh, it might take longer than the actual hot take itself.
I have one I completely agree with, and I'll back up, but I don't know if it's that much of a hot take.
No, it's fine. We'll put you on the clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Yeah, I have it.
I don't want to say yeah.
You're on the clock.
The New York Knicks are getting first rounded. They're getting first rounded by the Detroit Pistons because Cade Cunningham has led this team tremendously from a lottery pick team to a playoff team by himself pretty much. You can argue with the role players as well, but if you look at the New York Knicks, I'm not talking about the success of the Pistons, I'm talking about the failures of the New York Knicks. They're completely winless against the Cavs, the Celtics, and the Thunder. Great experienced teams, top tier teams. I know the Pistons aren't up there, but I think because of that, they're a fraudulent. I think they're a fraudulent team. They've already collapsed once throughout. They've already dropped one game so far against the Pistons. So it's 1-1 right now. In that first game, if you go back and watch that first game was entirely won by the Knicks because the Knicks just pulled through in the last 4 minutes. I want to say. Other than that, the Knicks played horribly throughout the entirety of that game. It was so close throughout the whole thing. They just happened to pull away at the last 4 minutes. That shouldn't have been that close if you were really that good of a New York Knicks team.
Right on the buzzer, Josh Bracken.
I'm good at this.
Oh my goodness. It's like he has his own show about it.
I know what 60 seconds is like.
I wouldn't say that's that crazy of a hot take, really. I don't really think that's really a hot take, really. Like it is, but I even think at this point that the Pistons can probably beat them. You know? Like, I don't think that's like, I think a bunch of people are making that opinion that they think the Pistons could actually win this.
Jack,
what's up, dude?
Does this grind your gears, or are you kind of with it?
I don't know.
He's about to rage bait like crazy right now.
Give me the Motor City.
Oh, so you agree?
Okay.
100%.
Okay, you agree.
I can't stand Thibodeau. I don't like Brunson. I don't like Cat.
But they're so good.
The Cat trade destroyed this team.
100
I think it did.
Massive
Really?
percent.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. I don't think Cat's a stud. I think
Whoa,
I don't think Cat's a top 3 center in the league right now.
What are you talking about?
And
what are you doing? Carlton has been a great player.
Sure, go ahead.
I really don't.
Done, but go ahead.
I really don't think they're that much. I think they're a very similar team.
Go ahead.
I don't. Josh, I really don't think they're that different, and I don't really think that trade killed them. Really, I don't think Julius Randle was playing like really great anyways. So I don't think it's really crazy that they gave up Julius Randle. I think they're still a better squad, but they're just the Knicks.
Go ahead.
And I don't really think. I really don't think Cat's ruined the team.
I'm not saying Cat ruined the team. I think the trade ruined the team because you trade away DiVincenzo.
But DiVincenzo was like not like and like.
He literally won that. He literally hit a.
He
hit a. He made Mike Breen hit a triple bang in the postseason last year. What are you talking about?
Okay.
DiVincenzo was their number one 3-point shooter last year. And
role
also, they
player,
were going to be the
but,
Villanova boys, and you completely get rid of that. You get rid of your best shooter and the chemistry you have between the three other guys on that team. That doesn't just destroy you as in, like, oh, they lost DiVincenzo, they're not the good of a team. That destroyed the mentality of their team. They got into heated arguments at the start of the season. You saw it, and I think it really kind of disrupted the chemistry that they were trying to build with Cat.
You can't win with Cat on your team. You can't.
That's just okay.
Timeout.
I guess.
What if the Timberwolves won with Cat?
Okay.
Exactly. Carry on.
Play for the Timberwolves. What do you want them to do, bro? They were terrible when he first got there. They were horrible when they first got there.
Can we have our producer, who very kindly crawled on the floor today, speak? Thomas the Tank Engine?
It's my new horn when I want everyone to be quiet. Here's what I think. I think Cat's overrated.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I do. I think he is. I think he's overrated.
He's been so good this year.
Defensively, sure, he's good.
And he's good offensively.
Offensively,
he's a liability, I think.
He kind of is.
How? What are we talking about? He's one of the best shooting big men.
Every time he goes up and gets tapped, oh my God! Like, dude, finish.
Every other player do that when they get fouled.
No.
Every other player, yes.
No.
What does SJ do?
No.
What does SJ
But
do?
if you're a center, you got to be strong. Oh, sorry.
What does Joel Embiid do?
That's the horn. That's our cue.
Josh, since we just dwelled into whatever that was, I think your take. I mean, you're supposed to be tie-breaking here, but, like, it doesn't make much sense because you gave your own take now. So should we just all live with our own takes, or do we? I think we should just live with them, right? I mean, there's nothing really we can talk about
But James
there.
Harden is a top 5.
I also have another hot take.
But James Harden is a top 5 shooting guard, right, Josh?
Yeah, he is. He is number 5. I mean, if you really want me to say a hot take,
you could say AI is better.
Oh,
I don't care.
I have another one too.
I don't care that AI is better. Sure. But
I have.
Can we let the guest speak, please?
But I'm just saying, Jack did say Tracy.
I rested my case. You rest your case.
Let's get Jack a horn. I mean, that's the next thing we have to do. Is get you. Let's get you a horn too.
Josh,
it's okay. It's all right.
Jack did tell me that Reggie Miller's better, Ray Allen's better, Tracy McGrady's better, Clyde Drexler's better, and Luka Doncic is better all time than James.
I stand by that.
Dude, did you not watch 2010's basketball?
Of course I did.
Then how are you having James Harden below all those guys?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Did you see what?
How do you have Luka below him?
Did you see what James Harden did with Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and then Kevin Durant?
They were
and
a baby
Kyrie,
Thunder. They were
2012.
Also remember James Harden was, when he was on the Thunder, he was a 6-man.
6-man.
And then that Nets team, I can go off about that for days. The Nets team was just awful in general because you have too many mouths.
They were the 2 seed.
Yeah, but you have too many mouths to feed, though.
Yeah, like you.
But they were the 2 seed, though.
They're all dominant players.
Yeah,
just because they're all ball dominant, they'll get you wins. But in a playoff scenario,
that team
you
was
have
bound
way too
to
many
fail.
mouths to feed.
That team was bound to fail.
Okay, and
they still lost.
I don't think James Harden is a top 5 shooting guard. I don't. He's a cancer to every team he's on.
Nope.
What do you mean?
Okay.
What do you mean?
Okay.
What do you mean?
Okay,
He got D'Antoni fired. He shipped out Dwight Howard. He shipped out Chris Paul.
Mike
he
D'Antoni's
shipped out
not that
Eric
good of a
Gordon.
coach.
He stayed. Oh my God! You're lucky I don't have more time with you. You're lucky.
Bro,
he shipped out all there's 3. Can you let me talk? Can you let me talk? Can you let me talk, please? Can you let me talk, please?
Opinions to make your.
Can I go? Can I go?
You were making.
Can I go?
Bro, listen to this.
Can I go?
So I never thought I'd have to cut my host's mics before, but Josh, you had a hot take in the vault, and you said it was a good one.
So I completely ignored it, and so. Okay, so here's a little disclaimer about my hot takes. I simply make them just for Tom and I to discuss. I don't actually agree with all of them. But I made this one. And Chuck, because of you told me something earlier, this is going to make you upset.
Sure, let's hear it.
So this was the hottest one of last episode. Drafting Ashton Genty is actually a good move for the New England Patriots.
No.
So the reasoning behind that is because it's simply generational talent. It's an upgrade in that position. Ramondre Stevenson has proven that he's not that good, despite in the past couple years that he's been with the team. You're at a weird situation with the New England Patriots right now at number 4. You can take a lineman at 4, but is it really worth it? You're kind of forcing that pick if you take a lineman at 4. Elliot Wolf might not be able to have the guts to trade down, so why not just take the generational talent of Ashton Genty at number 4? I'm not saying I completely agree with drafting Ashton Genty, but that is the argument for why it's actually a good move.
Here's why I don't want the train on my team. Ashton Genty himself is a train, right? He's a great running back, okay? Yeah, he's a bullet train. I just think in the shoes that the New England Patriots are in, where they're sitting there and they have Vidarian Lowe at left tackle. They don't even know who their left guard is. Will Campbell is there. Will Campbell's a tackle, a guard. I mean, taking him at a 4 sounds awful, and that's probably what's going to happen. But at least you can stick the guy in the position and see if he can play well. I mean, he's got dinosaur arms. I mean, he literally blocks with his dinosaur arms. I don't see it. Jack, your take on Genty? We talked about it earlier, but people join later. What's your take?
I don't know if you guys are familiar with the show called Shark Tank, but when they're not interested in a pitch, they say, I'm out. And when I hear that, I'm out on Ashton Genty.
Okay. I didn't really know. So Josh, we actually were talking about that opinion earlier about Genty. I don't think it's a totally a ridiculous thing to think about. I don't think it's that crazy to think about. Do I think we should do it? Probably not, but I don't think it would be an insane thing to think about taking Genty just because he's such a good talent.
No, and I like Chuck's point earlier about the offensive line. That's
a good point.
That's the argument for why you wouldn't draft him. Obviously, your O-line is so bad. I think the O-line is so bad. That's why Ramondre Stevenson hasn't done so well. I think that if you beef up that O-line, you're going to see Ramondre Stevenson perform better. I'm not saying he's going to be a top-tier quarterback in the league, but he'll at least perform much better. He can get the job done. He can rush for some yards, get first downs, touchdowns, all of that, go straight through the line. But I don't think you need Ashton Genty right now for the New England Patriots. I think beefing up the O-line will not only help Drake May, but I think it's going to help Ramondre Stevenson too, and I don't think a lot of people see that because they're so focused in on Drake May.
Yeah, because I still think a Ramondre Stevenson's still a very good talent. We've seen it before, before last year, or even the 2 years before. He's definitely had very good moments. You know what I mean? He's definitely capable of doing really well. He also played really well in that first game of the season where we beat the Bengals. So he definitely has the ability to show stretches of being very good. He just has a horrible O-line in front of him, and he can't really run.
Thank you very much to Josh Bracken for joining us. Josh, at this point, we're just going to have you on as our specialty guest every single week to just do this game show period of the time where we usually need someone to break the ice in here as it gets pretty hectic. Josh, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. I mean, you know me. I get out of work at 3, so if you want me to show up from 3 to 4, I can.
Hey, he's gonna be our own Ted Johnson.
Can I just play something through the microphone?
We'll be back after this quick break. Jack, you can get that right after. I mean, we're gonna have to hit this break. I mean, can you? Jack is. We're gonna have to
take away his mic.
We're gonna have to clip that one for sure. We'll be right back after this on WMLN 91.5 Curry College Radio. We'll be back to talk about what's next.
You're listening to the Hallal and Hickey Show, Wednesdays 2 to 4, only on WMLN.
The water is open. It's time to go boating and fishing and leave stress in our wake. Feel the wind as we ride and a fish on the line. Reel in our first catch and feel the sun at our backs. It's get out on the water season. It's time to get on board. Find out where to get on board near you. Visit Take Me Fishing and Discover Boating to learn more. And please recreate responsibly.
Get on board.
Get on board.
My name is Jinhui Zhang. I'm the chair of a computational biology department at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. As a data scientist, I feel so excited about seeing the potential impact, not only on the kids treated at St. Jude, but across the world. And I think this is a great use of the trust we got from our donors.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
My daughter was diagnosed with a rare malignant rhabdoid tumor on the spine. They sent her straight to St. Jude. My hope was gone. But when you get there, everyone's like, hey, we're not going to give up. And when you see other people not giving up on your child, that makes all the difference in the world. When I found out I didn't have to pay, I was just grateful They saved my baby's life.
Finding Cures, Saving Children. Learn more at stjude.org.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then, someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
In honor of all those we've lost to cancer and those still fighting and thriving, like basketball analyst Dick Vitale.
I want to beat cancer. I'm going to beat it. That's no doubt in my mind. I'm going to win this battle.
Defeating cancer will take all of us. At the V Foundation, V is for victory over cancer. V is for victory over giving up.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Join our team in the fight against cancer at V.org.
Hi, it's Tori DeVito. Small conversations can have a big impact on your child's decision to not drink alcohol and use other drugs. For tips and other resources on having a conversation, visit Talk They Hear You at underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
No one in AA said to me, why would a nice young girl with such a great future drink so much? They said, welcome, come in and sit down. We know how you feel.
Visit AA.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find a meeting near you.
You're listening to the Hallal and Hickey Show, Wednesdays 2 to 4, only on WMLN. Now, for your hosts, Jack Hallal and Declan Hickey.
Yes, that's going to be in the stream, Jack. I can, but I kind of don't want to. You listen to WMLN 91.5 Curry College Radio. That was terrible. Jack Hallal, Declan Hickey, Chuck Larossi, your producer. We have a stacked show. We had one this week. We have one next week. Jack, shout out Scotty P. Mr. Scott Pioli will be joining us through the phone lines, I believe.
It's still in the work. I mean, he's gonna. I just texted him.
We'll be on there.
We need 30 minutes maximum. He should be all set for next week. We're gonna figure out if he wants to. Probably just gonna be easier to have him call in. And
he'll be on though. That's That's the biggest thing.
He will be on.
That mark in the background of Declan's shot counts 5 people in the background of our shots today on the live video.
It's been a lot of distractions.
A ton of them. So it should be a real interesting day. And guys, for what's next on my end of things, Draftathon. It's a big deal here in the sports department at WMLN 91.5 Curry College Radio. See that? I can be like I give a 1,000 reader, 2,000 reader. What was that called? An auctioner or whatever? A teller, yeah.
No, it's not teller.
It's something.
That's making your scary meter go up to a bill right there.
Nightmare fuel. So tomorrow, a big day for our department. You can actually watch it live on Instagram. You can watch it live on YouTube. You will not be hearing me. I will be technical directing and producing the video side of things.
Chuck will be there in spirit.
I will be there in spirit. TC will be on the boards, so you'll hear him hosting that one. Coverage begins at 7:30. You'll hear a ton of guys from our sports department, including Joshua Bracken, who actually joined our show, and many more. So it should be a great night. And Jack, anything next in sports for that you're looking out for?
Celtics game 2. Hopefully, Sox can keep the hot streak up, and Lakers tie the series. Pacers up 2-0. OKC's up 2-0.
Right.
Clippers, Nuggets. I think it's what?
1-1.
1-1. So, good weekend for sports. Stay tuned.
Declan, what's next?
The Celtics, obviously, the NBA playoffs. My beautiful baby boy, Jason Tatum, I'm praying every night that he's okay, because he is my king.
He's my king too,
and I'm not afraid to admit it. Hey, it's NBA playoff season, it's Stanley Cup season. It's a great sports season. The Red Sox coming alive, and they're gonna go win that division at the end of the year. I'm calling it right now. We're winning the division. Boom.
Luka Doncic has been traded from the Dallas Mavericks.
That's going to be it for today's show. Chuck Larossi, Jack Hallal, Declan Hickey. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week. I know. We won't leave you hanging, I promise. Join the Draftathon tomorrow on WMLN 91.5. You can listen to it on the TuneIn app. You can listen to it on the radio. You can also watch it live on @WMLN_FM on Instagram or @WMLN_FM on YouTube, as well as our Hallal and Hickey YouTube channel, which will be live there as well. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in. We'll see you next week.